Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode number 77, where trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val. Jason has the day off, and also joining me, I should say, is the man, the myth, the legend, King NASCAR Hall of Famer, Logan. How are you?
Doing well, man. I'm got a Christmas hangover.
Yeah, hope everybody had a great Christmas or holiday, and looking forward to the new year. We got a great show for everybody today. We got a little bit of NASCAR news. We're going to talk about the 2021 President's Choice Solitaire 2.0. And we'll finish the show off with some eBay auctions.
All right, sounds good.
But first, let's thank our sponsors, Panini America, our seasonal sponsors, Duncan's Toy Chest, Little Nero's Pizza, and Greenway Press. Thank you. So we had some sad news in NASCAR.
Yeah, Martha Earnhardt passed away. She's the matriarch of the Earnhardt family. She was 91 years old. And, of course, she was married to Ralph Earnhardt, who is one of the top 50 NASCAR drivers of all time, as they chose back in 1998. My gosh, that's hard to believe it's been that long ago. And, of course, they had 5 kids. And, of course, the most famous was Dale Earnhardt Sr. And it's really sad. I know that Dale Earnhardt, that's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s mama. And I know she was a big fan of his. And I'm sure that the Earnhardt family is really sad. And our condolences go out to the Earnhardt family.
Yeah, it was nice to see NASCAR put out a statement as well for her passing. And I think you had mentioned before we had come on the show how, when Ralph passed away, she's seen a lot.
She really has. That lady has seen a lot. I mean, Ralph passed away, I think, in 1973. So, I mean, that's 48 years ago. And that in itself was hard to believe. But then when you start thinking about it, Senior's been gone for 20. And she's been around for all of that. I mean, I know a lot of people that when their spouse passes away, they seem to start, failing and they don't have a reason to live. But she's really been a tough woman, and she's seen, like you said, she's seen it all, and she's been through it all, and she's had a very good life, and I know the racing world is going to miss her.
Definitely. Watching Carrie and Dale Jr. and Kelly and all the other kids and grandkids, great-grandkids. So, yeah, she will be missed.
Yep. So do you want to talk about the President's Choice trading cards, the Solitaire 2.0?
Yeah. It was kind of coincidence. I was doing a search last weekend, and the President's Choice trading card patches popped up. Then also had a tweet.
It was from Colin Hostetter. His Twitter handle is CGH200912. And he was talking about, he had picked some up, and maybe we might ought to talk about it on the show. So here we are.
Yeah, so those two combined is like, well, definitely we need to talk about it, because I saw some pretty nice patches, and then doing a little research, there's dual sheet metal. There's a really long list of drivers. I think that it's 77 pages in the PDF.
Yeah, I opened that PDF and I scrolled forever. I couldn't believe how long that dang thing was.
The first 11 pages are all drivers, pretty much. A lot of dual patches. But so the boxes on their website at presidentschoicetradingcards.com, they have them for $299. Basically, if I'm looking at some of the breaks, you get 3 cards for that. But on Steel City and David Adams, they have them for about $199 or $200 a box.
Yeah, I saw that, and you can even get a 10-box case for at David Adams for $1989.95.
Correct. So you get, like I said, the 3 cards. It might, if you're looking for a particular driver or a particular patch, it might be best to just go after it if you see it. If you're the opening kind, then I guess you go to the box. There's really some pretty cool stuff in it. We talked about it's really like an unlicensed product. I'm pretty confident that the patches and everything else are legit. I mean, other than fully guaranteeing it, but the person who he started with Perkhurst, I believe. So he's been in the industry a while. So it's not like he's out of nowhere. But I think this is the first time he's including NASCAR.
Yeah, this isn't. I don't think you would call it FBN cards, fly by night, but the guy who is the owner of President's Choice is Brian Price, and like what you said, he's been in the card industry for at least 30 years, and he did Parkhurst, and I think Upper Deck swallowed that up for a little bit, and then it finally broke out on its own, and then he also did those Be a Player hockey cards. So he's from Canada, I think, and these cards are made in Canada. So I think that's kind of where, he was, big into the hockey, and I guess he's decided to branch out into other sports.
Yeah, on their website, their business office and warehouse are in Boca Raton, Florida. So they have the U.S. presence. But their patches are pretty sharp looking. I've, like I said, watched some of the box breaks. Some nice patches, autos, or cut autos, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at some of those patches, and some of the ones that really caught my eye were, of course, like of Dick Trickle and drivers like that. The Dick Trickle patches, there was one that says Winston on it and things like that. I mean, to me, I've been in this game a long time, and I feel confident that I could spot a fake. And I think all those things look legit to me. I just kind of wonder where he gets all that, all those driver uniforms and sheet metal. I think the sheet metal is probably easy. I would say the driver uniforms are going to be a little bit tougher.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Maybe we can get him on the show. I'd love to find the answer to that question. On eBay, I saw a few auctions that had ended and a few that are running. There's a really nice Jumbo patch of Bubba Wallace, but it looks like it's flat screened and I don't know, well, uniforms have changed, so I haven't got my hands on any kind of new uniform, but the old uniforms had all those patches and they were all kind of sewn on, but now I think they're all screen printed on.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about the new uniforms now is everything is like silk screen and, like you say, screen printed. I like the olden days where everything was either like patches that were sewn on or embroidered custom. I mean, I have a Dale Earnhardt Sr. fire suit, and that thing, just the embroidery work on that thing is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, it's actually a work of art back then, piecing all those together to make those uniforms. And, like we talked about now, I've seen some of the crew uniforms, and, it looks like, a regular shirt, where if you looked at cute crew uniforms of old, they were the same way. They had all that embroidery and stuff on it. It was really cool. So I guess what I was going with, there's a Bubba Wallace patch, and it's got the NASCAR logo on it. And like I said, it's kind of screened on. There's some other ones. Now, there's other ones, like the older ones, I think with the Dick Trickle and stuff that I've seen, that they were patches. So, but it was like a dual. And, again, these are only, 3.5, 2.5 by 3.5. So it's not like, 5x7 or something like that where you had some. So basically, I guess where I'm going is you have a 2.5 by 3.5, and that's cut in two because it's a dual. And so, you have that smaller patch. So,
yeah, I like these cards. I don't know that, them being unlicensed, you're not going to be able to get them graded by PSA because PSA is not going to grade anything unlicensed. But if you have a favorite driver or a favorite team or something like that, every one of these cards is a 1 of 1. So when you buy a box, you're getting 3 1-of-1 cards. So it's pretty cool to have them. I mean, I may pick some of these up of drivers that I like. I don't know that Richard Petty is in here. I don't think I saw him. Did you happen to see him?
I did not. I think I saw Jimmy Johnson stood out, and I think Jeff Gordon was one of the other ones that I saw that were. I did see the Mario Andretti I've seen those on eBay. It looks like it's part of the Firestone. It's like 2 pieces of the Firestone patch. Robbie Gordon. There's one like I'm looking for a Twitter logo with the bird or whatever. So that's kind of why I was looking this weekend. And like I said, ran across them, and I was like, oh, what's his president's choice? So it was good, I guess, good timing. But they're really, I said, sharp looking. There's some Rusty Wallace and Jimmy Johnsons. Like I said, if you go to the website, the company's website, you can download the checklist under the Solitaire 2.0. It's a PDF.
Yeah, and here's the other thing I like about the sheet metal and the patches. They're all multicolor. I didn't see anything that was one solid color. So everything is going to be dual or more color. And I really like that. That's something I wish Panini would do more of. And it shows that you can't, I think it can be done. But, I guess, they pay a lot for those driver suits. So they try to use up as much of it as they can, and I get that. But, it just goes to show you that, those kind of things can be done. And all these things are race used and, for the other sports, because, there's all kinds of different sports. You've got all the big 4 sports. You've got golf. You've got boxing, NASCAR. I even saw Lance Armstrong in there because I'm a cycling kind of guy. So I thought that was cool. And, and from what I read on the back of all these cards, I was looking at the back of the cards, and they all said that they were all, game used, race used, or whatever. So they were all in events, and they're guaranteed by Brian Price. And from what I can tell, I think to me, it all looks legit.
So when you were saying that, made me think of when I was watching one of the box breaks. They opened the box and they flipped to the back, and each box is numbered out of 1,000. So there's 3 cards. There's 3,000 cards. Like I said, so each box is numbered. But looking at like the dual metal checklist, then the names, the big names, like Rusty Wallace and Tony Stewart. Kenseth and Mark Martin, Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace and Brian Vickers, Rusty Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Robbie Gordon, Dale Jarrett, Tony Stewart, Brian Vickers, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Petty, just to kind of name the first 10 or 15. But there are multiple pages, like looking at this, Jimmy Johnson and Scott Wimmer, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Waltrip, Jimmy Johnson and Cole Custer, Jimmy Johnson and Danica Patrick, Jimmy Johnson, Craig Biffle, Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson and Carvin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, Juan Pablo Montoya, Jimmy Johnson, David Reagan, and Jimmy Johnson, David Rudiman. There's a whole laundry list of Tony Stewart's and other folks, Robbie Gordon with other folks, Dale Jarrett with other folks, Brian Vickers, Ryan Newman with other drivers. So, you kind of can see that there's quite a bit. Casey Mears, Scott Wimmer, Jeff Gordon. Like I said, there's like 11 pages, and there's dual patches. And then you get into that list as well. So,
yeah, they're very creative in what they're doing. One of the things that I like, and of course, it really doesn't concern NASCAR, but they have what they call quad cityscapes. And what that is, it's a quad patch with different players from different sports from the same city. So, like, if you had Boston, you'd have like Larry Bird, and then you might have, I can't tell you who all, from all the different players from Boston. But you're going to have different players from different sports on this quad patch card. And I think that's a pretty cool idea.
That is neat. And going down to the jumbo patch area, it looks like there's about 10 Dale Jarrett jumbo patches, Joe Nemechek, Matt Kenseth, Robbie Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Todd Bodine, Eric Almirola, Bubba Wallace, Dick Trickle, Michael McDowell, Terry Labonte, Michael Waltrip, Mario Andretti. And so those are the jumbo patches.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've got Not just NASCAR, but they've got some IndyCar guys. They've got some Formula One guys. I saw a cut signature from Nigel Mansell, Formula One driver back in the 90s. So I thought that was cool. That's a 1 of 1. And to me, that thing looked legit. I mean, I'm sure he can find those autographs. They're not probably too hard to come by.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then like under Mega Metal, which I imagine is a big jumbo, like said, there's blocks of like Cole Custer, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Burton, Jeff Gordon, Kyle Petty, Mark Martin, Matt Kenseth, Michael Waltrip, Robbie Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Tony Stewart, Danica Patrick, Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, Sterling Marlin, Brian Vickers, Casey Mears, Dale Jarrett. So those are the mega medals.
Yeah, and then they've got some game used gloves or race used gloves, I think, out there too, don't they?
I might have missed those.
I think I saw one of Ryan Newman when I was looking through eBay earlier.
Yeah, so the driver collectors, I guess if you have one of those drivers, trying to like Casey Mears or some of the other guys, trying to get some new cards for your collection, so which is cool.
Yeah, and did you see they've got a GOAT series? And one of the ones that caught my eye, because I like both of these guys, is Johnny Bench and Mario Andretti on one card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, honestly, because I growing up in Louisville when I was a kid, we were always Big Red Machine fans, and Johnny Bench and Pete Rose were my guys back then. And then of course I grew up on IndyCar and NASCAR, mostly NASCAR, but Mario Andretti's a household name that everybody knows. So yeah, that's a cool card.
Yeah, and if the numbering is correct, like I said, there's only 1,000 boxes of these. So
did you happen to count the list? Are there 3,000 entries on this list?
I don't know. There's 71 pages. That's a lot.
Oh my God, it's unreal. I mean, you guys need to download the checklist if you want to check this out, because it's absolutely amazing. Some of the athletes and drivers and things that they've got on here. I mean, you got people like Buster Douglas and Joe Frazier from boxing. I mean, you like I said, you've got Lance Armstrong. The list, it's literally a who's who of sports. I mean, I see Arnold Palmer and Greg Norman on here. It just goes on and on. So I think from that aspect, makes it way cool to me.
So there's a quad memo, which I guess is memorabilia of Montana, Namath, Marino, and Elway.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You have to admit. And there's wrestlers too, for you wrestling guys like Deepak and Wrestling Card King and all you guys. There's wrestlers out there too. You got Bret Hart, Brock Lesnar, Steve Austin, Ric Flair. It's amazing. There's tennis players on here. There's Andre Agassi. I mean, they have gone out and got stuff from everybody. It's absolutely incredible.
I'm looking at these few hockey too in this quad memorabilia: the Mario Lemieux, Yasmin, Mark Messier, and Jagger, as well as goalies Hasek, Brodeur, Belfort, and Esposito. Tony Esposito, I'm sure. So it's a pretty good list.
Yeah, see that they have a Danica Patrick glove, and they've got other gloves from like King Griffey Jr. Yeah, I love the kid. I mean, I've actually gotten to ride bikes with him, so I think that's pretty cool. They got Mike Trout. That's somebody current. Cal Ripken Jr. It's amazing. I mean, it just keeps. We could sit here for the next 30 minutes talking about all the different people in different sports that are on this list.
Now, I did see this one actually pulled. There was a teammates, and it was a Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson. Now that I see it here, I remember watching the break video for that to come out. I was looking to see if there was any racing teammates, but I don't see any.
Yeah, I see Lenny Moore on here. My son's a big Colts fan. He would like some of these, but I don't know if he'd be into stuff like this. He's more autographs and stuff like that. He doesn't do a whole lot of memorabilia. So this may not be his thing.
Yeah, so you get 3 of these cards per box, and 3 cards per box. So, and like I said, about $200 a box from, I think it was David Adams and Steel City. So, or you can try, wait till these get opened and then hopefully they hit eBay to try to snap them up. So, but they're pretty interesting. So at least to mention that on the show for NASCAR guys and Indy guys, just in case you're not familiar with it or haven't seen it, just kind of put it on your radar. If you run across them, then you know what they are. So.
Yeah, I went through and looked at a few of the higher closing auctions on eBay for these cards, and of course they kind of go back into October. But on the 5th of October, they had a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Martin race used, I think it was sheet metal card. Of course, they're all 1-of-1s. That goes without saying. But it went for $103.49 with 34 bids. So that was impressive. I also saw on the 28th of November, there was a Tony Stewart Mega Metal 1-of-1. It had the McDonald's logo on it. I guess there was a McDonald's collector, and it went for $84.99, but it only had one bid. But I guess, the McDonald's guy went, hey, I got to have that, and bought it.
Now I'm looking at closed auctions as well. December 6th, the Dick Trickle race used memorabilia. It's part of the Winston logo, and that went for less than $150 because it was a best offer accepted. So I wish I would have seen that Winston logo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about earlier. I mean, when you look at that, I mean, that looks legit to me.
Yeah.
It probably smells like cigarette smoke because he was like David Pearson. He was always smoking in the car.
I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Rusty or one of the other guys, but they said, Dick Trickle, he would drive around, and when he flicked his cigarette out the window, you knew it was time to go.
Oh, wow. I never heard that before.
Yeah, so he'd be in there smoking the whole race, but when he flicked that cigarette out, it was time to go. It was time to race, and it was coming to the end. So
that's funny.
Yeah, well, those guys. Who was it they were talking about? Maybe it was Pearson. They installed a cigarette lighter for him.
Yeah, it was Pearson. They sure did.
And that one story, I guess it was Buddy Baker who mentioned it, is like, I don't know if they were in Darlington or wherever it was, but Buddy Baker's there holding on the wheel and he's fighting that thing, and he kind of looks over and Pearson's just kind of like driving with one hand.
Yep, smoking.
Yep. So yeah, those guys, different breed.
Yeah, here's one other one I thought was really cool, and I like the way that one of these patches looked. This was back on the 7th of December. It was a Rusty Wallace. It says Bodine. I don't know which Bodine it was. I don't remember. But Rusty Wallace and one of the Bodine brothers, and it had the Miller logo patch on there for Rusty Wallace, which that was really cool looking, and it went for $93 with 40 bids. So that was 40 strong.
Bids. Wow.
Yeah. Somebody really wanted that bad boy.
Yeah, so these patches are anywhere from $10 to almost $200.
Yep. Yeah, the highest price one that I saw it was a Terry Labonte fire suit sponsor patch. I guess it was one of those mega patches. It went for $189.99. Buy it now. It was a nice looking patch. So, like I say, it can be done with the multiple, swatches, multiple color swatches, and all the different cool patches. So, and I think these guys did it right. I mean, I hate that they're not licensed. Maybe somewhere down the road, maybe they can strike a deal with Panini or maybe, who knows, if Fanatics gets involved. I mean, good God, who knows? I mean, who knows what the future holds for this? But if they could get licensed, man, just think of the stuff they could really make.
Yeah, this is, I was thinking about this. If this would be a great I guess, test to see if, because this is like National Treasures without the cards, right? So it's just all straight memorabilia cards.
Yep.
So, you would need access to legitimate race used memorabilia, and then, to license it. I guess, I don't know if you can use the driver's likeness or whatever, how much more that increases the price. So, um, you know,
Well, you know as well as I do that the majority of these NASCAR drivers, they have to get all these images approved on cards and things, and they can't do certain cards at certain, from certain headshots and certain things, and so that approval process can be painful.
yeah, very. And then more hands or more, folks to pay, and how much more does that increase the price? So we're already looking at um, $200 to $300 for 3 cards. So that's $100. So I don't know what it costs to manufacture them, and then also the cost to acquire stuff, because we know, sheet metal for Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon and stuff like that for legitimate sources is not going to be cheap, right? So
No, in fact, Hendrick sells all that stuff now in their shop over there near where you live, and that stuff has become quite pricey now.
yeah, because even if you're looking at the Racing Warehouse, I think we've talked about that before. If you're not familiar, you can go out to Racing Warehouse. I think it's racingwarehouse.com, and buy sheet metal, drivers' uniforms, gas cans, other stuff like that. So that's probably some of the lower name drivers and stuff. So probably 100 or whatever or more for some stuff. But uh, Logan is correct. Trying to buy something either from Joe Gibbs, I was thinking like Denny Hamlin, some sheet metal stuff. You're looking at $300 to $400. Kyle Busch and Hendrick, that's what you're kind of looking at for pieces of sheet metal. So again, you can make a few cards out of that, but it's part of the cost of doing business. So
Yeah, and something else I noticed about some of these things is, like, for example, on some of the baseball players, the swatches and things they have are not necessarily jerseys, but they're like pants and other things. So they're not cutting up jerseys, they're cutting up pants and, gloves and other things.
yeah, and I think, Logan, with the sheet metal too, you're getting multicolored sheet metal. You're not just getting a piece of blue or piece of black or whatever it is, right? You're getting some changes in colors. That's one of the things that, I know Panini does a good job, but, getting 2 swatches and they're both, the same color or whatever, that it's always nice to see either different transitions or seams, or, like even the tires. I like to see the Goodyear logo or something, or even some nubs, but not just, a piece of black or, um, I got I guess it was a Ryan Blaney jumbo, and it's one big piece of, black fabric.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I got one of those in my National Treasures last year. I forget who it was, but it was just all like one big black thing.
so now I was like, well, maybe I'll, try to get that signed or something like that. But so it seems like this Solitaire 2.0, they do a pretty good job of that sheet metal. So
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for the King NASCAR stamp of approval, I would approve them, even though they're not licensed. But from a wow factor and a cool factor, I think they're all right.
yeah, I'd agree with that. Like I said, the only negative on it is that it's not licensed. But on the positive side, the cards are attractive, or the sheet metal is definitely attractive. The combos are pretty good. Some of the drivers I'm not sure about, maybe some of the lower end drivers, but I know, you need to have some lower end to level out some of the higher end stuff. So, but again, a piece of nice contrasting color sheet metal is still, a nice eye appeal. So,
Oh, I agree. Like I said, I think they're good. Like I said, it's just too bad they're not licensed.
yeah. So maybe, if this goes well, there'll be another version. again, this is, I think, their first attempt into NASCAR. We'll have to see about trying to get him on the show and find out more about that. Maybe if he's got plans, if this does well, or if there's big interest in NASCAR to look at that. So,
yeah, who knows? Maybe he'll have Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen on here.
yeah, that would be
God.
epic.
Oh, that would make Tops mad.
Well, I'm sure Panini's not too happy about this either, but there's nothing stopping Panini from doing this either. So, maybe either a new product or bumping up National Treasures or something. I don't know.
Yep.
But competition is always good. So for the consumer.
I mean, you saw what these people did, and I think it's a cool looking product. So maybe Panini will see that and say, hey, maybe we need to step up our game just a hair or two. Who knows?
Yep, it's definitely attractive, and I'll be looking. Like I said, I'm looking for that Twitter logo. So
you're not the only one. There's people out there, I think, that collect just the Twitter swatches, the NASCAR swatches, the Coca-Cola swatches, just all the different swatches.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see like if working for one of these companies, and like if I used to work for Lance, so if I saw a Lance logo, I'd be definitely interested in that, or a Panini logo or something. So
yeah, you're gonna have some competition, so you better be prepared to pay.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's all I got for this. You got anything else?
I don't think so. I think we covered it pretty good. Like I said, you can buy the product from the President's Choice Trading Cards website, and as well as Steel City, and I think it was David Adams, and then blowouts out of them for right now. So, but that's it. Cool.
All right. I guess we can talk about some NASCAR completed auctions from this past week real quick. One of the things I saw that was really cool was this was on the 28th. Actually, that's today as we record this. I almost said tape, but there's no such thing. But anyway, 2021 Panini Father's Day Chase Elliott 1 of 1 sold for $99.95. I wish I'd seen that. I probably would have bought that. And that's the one thing I hate about going back on these eBay auctions is I see all these cool things that people bought, and it's like, why the hell did I not see that? My God, I would have bought it if I saw it. But there's just so much. I can remember when I first got on eBay back, gosh, when was it? 97, 98, whenever that was. I could literally go through all the NASCAR stuff, sitting down for a couple hours in one night and literally look at every listing on the planet. You can't even think about doing a small percentage of that in a few hours now.
Yeah, I remember those days. That was a long time ago.
God, no kidding, man. And that's when I still had freaking dial-up, dude. I was dialed up to AOL.
I'm laughing because there was one or two times where they took the site down because of updates.
Oh yeah, man, those were the good old days, man. Yeah, and of course, my wife would be like, "Are you tying up the phone line again? I need to make a phone call." I said, "No, you need to hold on. I got a bid on this auction, and I got to get this dang thing.
There's only a few minutes left. I got a bid."
Yeah, no, you better just hold on, or go down the street and get on somebody else's dang phone, because I am not getting off this thing right now. Forget it.
Oh, world.
Yeah. But anyway, as we digress into that, some other things I saw, a 1988 Max Dale Earnhardt number 99 rookie card. It was just raw. And of course, they have razor sharp corners in their description. Went for $500. Buy it now. This was a raw card, $500.
Oh, wow.
About a year ago, I had a chance to buy 3 of those cards for $100 a piece, and I only bought 1. This is before all the crazy prices.
Well, remember we talked about that card as being a glamour card and iconic. So
yeah, hindsight.
Even though it's good,
hindsight's 2021.
Yeah, even though we talked about how these had gotten out of the factory and were never released, and that also reiterate, there's no way you can get a 1988 Max number 99 Dale Earnhardt promo out of a pack.
Nope. I opened thousands and thousands of packs back in the day, And all I can say to that is, you can't do it.
Yeah, and if there's any way you could, it'd have to be from Myrtle Beach back. There's no way they're in there. So
no, they're not. They're not in there at all.
So,
So is there any eBay auctions that you saw that you want to talk about?
I've
got a few more.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is yet another 1988 Max Dale Earnhardt, number 99. It was in a CGS graded holder, and let me tell you, that holder looked terrible. And it was a CGS 8, and it had one bid. It went for $499.99 for a CGS 8, which that was probably a generous grade for them because I'm sure they don't have the standards that PSA or Beckett has. And I thought that was actually crazy money for something like that. But, I've been wrong on crap before. I mean, I'd be retired if I had been right more than I was wrong. And something else that I saw that was actually pretty amazing was a Dale Earnhardt Sr. 2000 Upper Deck Sign of the Times autograph card. It was in a BGS, I think it was a BGS 9 holder. It went for $1,500. Buy it now.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd love to have that card. I don't have that card. I would love to have that. I love that whole 2000 Sign of the Times set.
Yeah, that 2000 SP Authentic and the Sign of the Times is a really nice set. That's that, the white border, white background, and with that image there with those signatures on them. They're pretty sharp.
Yeah, they're clean. I think that's what makes them look. They're so desirable and look so nice. They're just clean.
Yeah, there's so many great drivers in that series with Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, Mark Barton. You have the rosy-cheeked Jimmy Johnson. Dick Trickle. It's a great set. Actually, there's quite a bit of cards in that Sign of the Times set.
Yeah, something else I saw that I thought was I would like to think a pretty good deal was 2013 Press Pass Fanfare Silver Kyle Larson die cut rookie cards, 2 of them. And they went for $52.55 with 2 bids. So I think somebody got a good deal there because those things, people don't realize those things are pretty tough.
Yes. We talked about it before, we knew, Press Pass didn't have a massive print run. So you're talking about 2013 and they would be out of business at the end of 2014. So basically another year and a half or whatever. And that fanfare, that was I think it was 2011 was the first year of it, and 2013 was the last year for fanfare. So, and they didn't have that print run like they do the other sports, and that kind of Larson is a tough one. You don't see wax anymore. You used to be able to see 2013 blasters, but they've been all blown out from the big 3 over all those years.
Yeah, I mean those things are dried up for sure.
Yeah, you don't see any fanfare blasters anymore, or hobby. I can't tell you the last time I saw a hobby box.
No, they're just not out there right now. Something else I saw too, and this kind of speaks to the market correction that we're seeing now from back when things were like crazy back in February and March, is the 2020 Topps Now Formula One F1 number 3 card of Lewis Hamilton in a PSA 10 holder. It went for $1,400. Now, I remember when we were in Dallas about 6 months ago or so, 7 months, however long it's been now, that card was pushing almost $5,000 at that point. And that card has gone down that far. That's a pretty dramatic drop. If it goes under $1,000, I may try to, buy one.
And that's that Topps Now version, right?
Yeah, that's the one that everybody went crazy on. I know our friend and friend of the show, Ivan, watched the breaks. he was smart. He bought several of those cards when they came out on Tops Now. I saw them and I just kind of scoffed at them, and goes to show you what I know.
Yeah, sometimes we get it right, and sometimes we get it wrong.
If I could only be right more than I was wrong, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and speaking of 2020 tops, but this is the Chrome F1 Lewis Hamilton. I was looking at some of the closed auctions, like a PSA 9 number 1 of the Chrome went for $234 with 24 bids. PSA 10 Sapphire edition went December 28th. So these are both December 28th. It was a PSA 10 Sapphire. It's the regular version, not the variation. It was $1,192.
Wow.
December 27th, that same card, not that same card, but the same card and the same grade, a PSA 10 Sapphire went for $1,200 with 17 bids. There was also another one, PSA 10, December 27th, the same, both from Probstein, $1,225 with 23 bids. So the Sapphire edition clock in about $1,200 for PSA 10 version.
Yeah, those Sapphire cards are nice. I mean, I have to admit.
And so those are the ones that we saw, and I'll never forget it. We saw that 10-box case of Sapphire for $7,000. They were $700 a box. And I think they're like at $2,000 a box now.
Yeah, so of course somebody at the National got a good deal.
Yeah,
I mean, at the time it looks like it is an exorbitant price, but hindsight, it was now a great price.
Yeah. But then the regular Topps Chrome, my PSA 9, another one for $130. That was also December 27th. So Lewis Hamilton selling pretty good. Looks like the Sapphire rookie as a PSA 9 is about $530, and that 10 is about $1,200. So.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I mean, I need to pick up a Lewis Hamilton card. I need to pick up some Max Verstappen's. I like those guys, so they're on my radar. But I'm being, I'm just going to play the waiting game, and I'm going to just try to see if prices go down a little bit lower and find the cards that I like at the right grade I want, and go ahead and buy them.
So here's one from December 19th. It's a Sapphire Chrome Formula One of Lewis Hamilton, and it's a PSA 10, but it's the gold version of the Sapphire. It's a numbered out of 50.
Uh-oh.
Had 64 bids.
And?
You want to guess?
$5,000?
$44,544.
Oh my freaking God.
64 bids, $44,500.
Oh.
There's a 1 of 50. It's a pop up 2. And it's the Sapphire. It's not even the variation. It's the regular one with him standing, holding it, rubbing his hands together.
God.
Yep. So anyway, so that's some of the high dollar F1 that I saw.
Wow. Yeah, sounds like it's been a heck of a week for Formula One cards. And I think Formula One cards are alive and well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this new version coming out next year. I guess we're going to recap the 2021 season. I still saw on Twitter the folks trending with Lewis Hamilton about that last race still. So
yeah, I know there's a lot of upset people. I mean, if I was a Lewis Hamilton fan, I'd be upset too. But I've become a Max Verstappen fan, so I was happy.
Yeah, I think either in one or two camps. But somebody had a pillow made of, I think it was I don't remember what was on the front, but on the back was the conversation between the crew chief and Lewis Hamilton, where he's like, something like, Michael, this is wrong, or something. They had it embroidered on a pillow or whatever, or screen printed on the pillow. It was pretty. For the Max Verstappen fan, it would be epic. So
That's funny. Well, I think that's all I got, man.
well, I think that's it. And well, we appreciate everybody listening to the show, and thanks again for your support in 2021. We got some changes coming in 2022.
Yeah.
That is about the next year.
I got one more thing I just thought about because I just looked over here to my left. Don't forget to enter your Panini access codes for a chance to win a trip to the 2022 Daytona 500.
Yes,
because that ends on the 31st.
Yes, they're no good January 1st. So
yeah,
enter them all in. So you have till I guess when this drops on Friday, and you're listening to it on Friday, listen to the show, enter those codes in.
Yep, enter your codes while you're listening to the show. Because if I win, Val's going with me, and if Val wins, I'm going with him. So I have at least I have we each have a double chance now of going.
Yes, definitely. So everybody, please be safe. Take your time, get there safe, and hope everybody has a happy new year.
Thanks again to our sponsors, Panini America, and our seasonal sponsors, Duncan's Toy Chest, Greenway Press, and Little Nero's Pizza. Thank you.
So for me and the guys, again, we appreciate you listening to the show, sharing the podcast, and we will catch you next year.